And on today's episode of new Harbor Freight product making everyone lose their minds is the Braun Tactical Rail Mount LED light. Harbor Freight is dipping their toes into the tactical side of things with a weapon mounted light. We haven't really seen anything like this from Harbor Freight before. They have some stuff for guns. They got ammo cans, gun cases, and they got lights and tactical lights, but they don't have any gun attachments. So this is quite interesting from them. And in true Harbor Freight fashion, it is essentially a one-for-one of the Streamlight TLR1HL. So we're going to do a quick comparison of these today and see just how similar these actually are. Well, starting with the price, the TLR1HL from Streamlight is going to run you about $150, $160, around that range. And this Braun light comes in at about 50 bucks. Is it Streamlight quality? Let's take a look at it. It's 1,000 lumens, which is matching the Streamlight, and up to 1 hour, 30 minutes of runtime, again, matching the Streamlight. Saying it's drop proof to 5 feet impact resistant glass. They actually have a picture of a Glock on here, or maybe it's a little sneak peek of Harbor Freight's next venture into firearms. I don't know. We never know. But this also comes with a bunch of different rail mounts for different pistols. And obviously the Streamlight does come with those as well. So it's basically the exact same thing as the Streamlight, but it's Harbor Freight branded. So let's get this out and let's see what all the rage is about. We'll keep the rail mounts in there for now. I think it just comes, it comes standard with the Glock. GL means Glock. I can't actually shoot with these on right now, but we can at least take a look at them and see just how similar they actually are. If you were just looking at them like this, you probably could not tell which is which. Which one's the Streamlight? Which one do you think the Streamlight is? Yeah, they look exactly the same. This one's got a sticker on the bottom. They're incredibly similar, and so the Harbor Freight is made in China. The Streamlight, actually the parts of the Streamlight are made in China, but it is assembled in the USA. So both of them have parts made in China, and someone had suggested that possibly because they're so similar, they may be made out of the same factory in China, which would be kind of funny. But just taking a look at a few things here, there are slight differences. The screw on here to secure it to the rail of the gun is slightly different. That screw there, it's harder to see. That has like a matte finish screw. That's like a glossy screw. Unscrewing that, the spring is much stronger on the Streamlight, like considerably. This is kind of just like not very strong spring at all. This one, really strong. The switch is slightly different. You know, there's just a couple different variations of parts. Like on the inside of the Streamlight, there's a little bit of white on the edge of the reflector, which is lacking on the Braun. Small little variations, parts being a little bit different, lead me to believe that they're not made in the same factory, so they're not going to be exactly the same, but they are very, very similar regardless. Both are claiming to be 1,000 lumens. The Streamlight batteries I have aren't actually fresh in here, so I'm going to have to check that. The way to open them is exactly the same as well. So on the back here, you get this little tab. You just flick that up, and it opens up, and you get your CR123 batteries. This comes with paired Deere lithium batteries. Obviously, here's the Streamlight as well. Same method to open these. I actually got Streamlight batteries in there right now. The biggest difference I can tell right now is the spring for this rail. And you can kind of see just how the Braun one's just a little bit more junky. The Streamlight feels pretty good. Let's throw it on a Glock and see just how it fits on here. Huh. That's weird. See that amount of movement there? Locked it down. I mean, it's tight on there. Let's check out the Streamlight. That clicks on with that spring, that stronger spring. It just clicks on a lot better. And there's no movement in this one. You can actually see the difference in mounting. I don't know how I didn't realize that in the beginning, but you could see that the way that the Streamlight mounts on, it has this little piece for the screw to attach to, and the main body of the light the screw goes through. Where on this one, you have that same piece on this side, but you also have this piece on that side. I think I may not have locked it down enough, so we're going to try that again, but there's no movement in there, and there is actually movement, but that's actually the frame of the Glock between the slide moving there. You can see that. That's just the tolerance of the Glock moving up and down. But the light is solid on there, the Streamlight. No issues at all with the Streamlight, to be expected. And just to make sure, here's the Streamlight I just mounted. You can see the Glock adapter is in there. Braun light Glock adapter on there. Let's try this again, and then that's not good. You know, I wouldn't be happy with that. I'm putting it on there nice and finger tight. Yeah, look at that movement, man. I mean, it's on there tight. You're really not supposed to put it on more than finger tight. I mean, I can't even tighten that anyway. And look right there between that piece. You can see that movement. It does not instill a lot of confidence. I don't like something on the gun to be so wobbly like that, even though I don't think it would fall off. Wow, look at this. Look, I literally could pull this off in my hand. I don't know why it's not locking down on there. I could totally rip that off and that would kind of damage the rail there. That's, well, I think that's all we really need to see of this, to be honest. I had higher hopes, I'm not gonna lie. I did have higher hopes. Streamlight, yeah. Putting the same pressure. This thing would not come off of the gun. Definitely not, that would not come off of the gun. Well, I mean, you know, it maybe could. And, you know, it's also a thing, you know, that is just because of, you know, the Glock polymer as well. Like, if you're locking it down on metal frame, that you're not gonna have that issue probably because you're not gonna bend the metal on there. This being on that Glock, it can pull and it can deform the rail, the polymer there. It's just not good. I would not buy the Braun light and put it on a pistol just because of that. Maybe the one I got is not like locking down properly. I mean, I was tightening it. Obviously, I put this one on no problem, right? This one has no problem at all. But the Braun light's got a big problem. I would not run that on a gun. I don't really know what else to say. I'm gonna go out and compare some beam shots with these two, just show how bright this is, but as far as mounting it on a Glock, which most people will probably want to do, and heck, it's even in the picture on the package that I tore up. It's mounted on a Glock. Guys, if you're looking at the two to put on a handgun, just spend the extra money and get the Streamlight. There's one thing I don't want to cheap out on. It is equipment on firearms. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than don't buy it. Here's a tip for Harbor Freight. If they want to redesign it, make it like this, a full housing, the screw going through that, with just that tightener being on the one side. There shouldn't be two tightening pieces on either side. I think that's where the issue is, because there's some movement in this one piece close to the screw. It just won't get tight enough. I am a little bit disappointed right now. This is the Harbor Freight jack stand of weapon lights. As we take these lights around to compare, obviously they're both very bright, 1,000 lumens, candela similar. One thing I should mention is they both have a strobe feature on the light. However, Streamlight has the 10 tap programmable feature in which you can tap it 10 times and hold, and it'll either turn the strobe off or turn the strobe back on if you don't wish to utilize the strobe. On the Braun light, there is no programmable feature. The strobe is always going to be there, so a lot of times you may accidentally press the strobe on in which you don't want to. And because it doesn't have that programmable feature, you obviously can't work around that, where the Streamlight you can. And most Streamlights do have that programmable feature on there, which is really, really nice. At this point, it doesn't really even matter. I've already said it, the way the Braun light attaches to the Glock there, it's just not good. It's going to fall off. You can rip it off with your hand. I wouldn't recommend it.